The time has finally come. After more than a decade of highs and lows with the blue blur, Sega gave Sonic Team the green light to develop a game to bring their spiky mascot to a new audience, and determined there would be no better time to release it than on the 15th anniversary of the series' first entry. In fact, they decided to use that name again, just to be sure. This game is known throughout the gaming world as one of the most broken, embarrassing, buggy games to have ever been released by a major studio. It's a humiliating failure that sealed the deal in many minds that Sega really had lost its way, prompting fans of the franchise to take painstaking efforts to fix it entirely free of charge. On November 14th, 2006, it finally landed, in my opinion, one of the greatest slights against the entire franchise. And now, without further ado, I present to you, ladies and gentlemen, Sonic the Hedgehog for the Game Boy Advance. Words truly cannot do justice to the level of awful that is this port of Sonic the Hedgehog, called Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis on its box art. What an awkward use of the Genesis logo, by the way. Released as a North American exclusive on the same day as the similarly ill-fated console game of the same name, Sega somehow decided that this mess would be a fitting tribute to 15 years of Sonic. But let's talk about the good before we get into the bad. The game wasn't without at least some basic quality of life improvements that Sonic Team definitely wasn't obligated to add, but did anyway. One notable addition for this port is the Anniversary mode, which adds the spin dash from Sonic 2 and 3. That's actually it. That's all Anniversary mode does. The game also saves overall progress, such that when you reach a zone for the first time, you can select that zone directly from the title screen, even Final Zone. This does come with the drawback that starting a game from a later zone begins the player with 0 Chaos Emeralds, but that's an understandable enough limitation. And frankly, even if you do manage to get into a special stage, they're borderline unplayable in the first place. Oh yeah, we're already done with positives, by the way. The physics in this game are just all kinds of fucked up. Apparently in 2006, they just entirely forgot how Sonic moves, because this will be a recurring issue in most side-scrollers from this point forward. Sonic feels much heavier, and he stops incredibly fast, undercutting the overarching flow of standard Sonic gameplay. Granted, you're gonna want to take it slow anyway, since the screen size has been reduced from the 320 by 224 of the Sega Genesis to 240 by 160 on the Game Boy Advance. That is barely half the number of pixels on screen. While this isn't necessarily a problem if you've got stages memorized, there were some changes that it does impact. For example, you can just jump and attack Dr. Robotnik directly at the end of Starlight Zone, which is convenient because these seesaws are barely functional at all. On the other hand, in Final Zone, you literally cannot see the pylons on the top and bottom of the screen at the same time, and they don't shake, so good fucking luck surviving it. The game also seems to struggle massively with object loading and unloading, as stage elements are not visible until they are entirely on screen, resulting in quite a lot of pop-in, and objects meant to crumble underneath Sonic just blip out of existence instead. The music, oh my god. Look, okay, the Game Boy Advance is an incredible handheld, but the sound fonts in the system were by and large awful. Very few games leaned into it in a way that wasn't terrible. Off the top of my head, I'd say like the Mega Man Battle Network series, Final Fantasy Tactics, and ironically the Sonic Advance series are basically the only ones to get it right. Man, can you believe how far the Sonic on GBA experience has fallen since Sonic Advance? Anyway, here's a quick little sample of the soundtrack you can expect to experience in this game. And perhaps worst of all, the game plays like shit. It is ungodly framey and lags so severely that music that's meant to sync up in certain ways just doesn't. The invincibility power-up, for example, which is active for a set number of frames, not a set amount of time, lasts for what feels like years. The lag in this game is so bad that the final credits music ends several seconds before the credits themselves, leaving us hanging out with this outstandingly awkward silence. Oh, and that title screen with the level select? Yeah, that's the only level select. No cheat codes, no debug mode, no nothing. Man, somebody really should do something about this. Anyway, let's dive on into a game that's only got a 33 on Metacritic. The worst reviewed Sonic game of 2006. Sonic the Hedgehog. Genesis. On the Game Boy Advance. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
That
The
is
oldie
some,
Game Boy Advance warning.
Pixely looking stuff there, my friends.
Oh boy, oh
Licensed
boy.
by Nintendo. Oh, what are we playing today, Rick? Maybe a good Mario game, or okay, maybe like something a little more fun. Maybe we'll play that Phantasy Star game they made for the Game Boy Advance. That'd be cool.
I think starting with good was a little bit.
Sonic Team could
a
still
little
be
bit
Phantasy
wishful.
Star. That I'm hoping. Oh, well, Sonic's not so bad.
What the fuck?
Oh, it's so old. Look how old.
No,
Oh.
that's not how it's supposed to sound. What the hell's this?
Original mode, anniversary mode, and option. I think. I mean,
Thing I
like,
could
what have you
read.
done
I
to
just
my
don't. What's
childhood?
anniversary mode?
I think anniversary mode like adds the spin dash, and I don't remember what else off the top of
Should
my
we?
head.
Which one do you want to play?
Oh my god! Look, even the word hedgehog looks fucked up.
The Hedgehog.
Ugh. So yeah, anniversary mode. The only change is that you can spin dash.
Are you serious?
I am dead
Well,
serious.
I guess we'll
That's
do that.
adorable.
Sure.
Make this experience at least slightly
Go
different.
for it.
All right, awesome.
Oh boy.
What
Y and B are the buttons.
Oh, good.
On here.
Green
In
Hill.
case there was questions.
This sound font is atrocious. Look how jittery he is.
And he's huge.
I'm used to that. You can probably turn it down a little more. We don't need to hear this.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that is the shrillest possible tone they could have chosen.
Our screen also, so it's not the case in the recording, but our screen seems to be cutting off a little on the top and bottom too. Just, it's
good,
so
'cause we
framey.
didn't have enough real estate. This is fucking hard. This is a game from the fucking 80s. Why couldn't this Game Boy handle it?
This looks so rough.
Look at
This.
the
My
font they're using
goodness.
is.
Oh wow, I got a spin dash. That's anachronistic.
Yeah, the
Um,
anniversary mode comes with a spin dash.
Look how
Oh.
floopy this looks.
Floopy.
He is the fastest
The
thing
technical
alive.
Except for on a system that can't support 30 frames a second.
Imagine trying to do Chemical Plant Zone like this.
I mean, it would suck. All of it's gonna suck. It's not even in this game, and it's gonna suck.
Hey, on the plus side, all the platforming is going to be so much easier.
It's not, because it's a moving target. If it was consistently 20 frames, that would actually be better. But instead, it's like 30 sometimes, and then 10 other times.
I'm Rick.
And I'm miserable.
And
Did you
John
miss
is
that? Wait a minute.
John.
Who cares? It doesn't matter.
This is Sonic the Hedgehog,
Hyper
Game Boy
zoomed in
Advance,
elderly person
also
edition.
known as Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis.
Just not
The
gonna play
sound
those
effects are
there?
like
Yeah.
seem like they're like a million seconds late.
But they got the
Wow.
spin dash in, so thank God. Thank God for this version.
Oh man.
This sucks, dude. Sonic has.
Oh, look at the background.
Yeah. Somebody
Holy
released
shit.
this.
They made this
This
choice.
is
They
insulting.
wanted
Sega
this.
released this as a 15th anniversary like special thing.
It's not special. Or it is special,
It's
but it's
special.
not the good special.
They were proud of it. They were.
I'm gonna die, aren't I? Okay, good.
Man.
I got my one ring. I'm good to go. I'm like Gollum. I
The
just
one
want
ring
the
to
one
rule
ring.
them all,
Yep.
John.
That's
It's
right.
so shocking. It's so shocking.
I mean, it
How
still
bad
kind of
this
feels
is.
like Sonic 1. It's just zoomed in and terrible and skippy as fuck.
Oh man.
Like, the old original games had some slowdown sometimes. This just feels like that was the exception, not the norm. And this is just the
Yeah.
inverse of that. Like, look at this. There's not even enemies.
Just get used to it and accept it.
Yeah, there aren't even enemies on screen, and it was slowing down. It just seems
Oh,
to be
man.
related to. I honestly don't
Uh-oh.
fucking know what.
That was always a big trap for me in the original.
Me too.
Because you run, and those things are not solid normally. So you run like, you kind of phase through a bunch of those pillars, and you wind up landing, of course, between the spikes where there's an actual death pit.
Well, I mean, that moment right there sums up my entire issue with Sonic game design.
Yeah.
It's all about going as fast as you can and going right as fast as you can, but you can't see anything and you will die if you go right as fast as you can.
I've heard arguments, wow, that was about 7 frames. This feels like Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1 looked like when we actually tried playing it the first time around.
This very
Yeah.
much feels like it should be the very first Sonic ever.
You're right? If this,
Just the way
if
it
this
looks
was the
and
first
everything
Sonic
about
game, if this was how the first one got released, one, it probably wouldn't have been nearly as popular, but also I would understand.
I'd at least have an understanding of why. Like, okay, they're pushing the envelope here.
Yeah, NES games and even some Super Nintendo games would have struggled with stuff like this. So, like...
Can I get some
yeah, it would have
rings,
at least been something that
there.
would have made sense to be difficult for the console.
Yeah. The Game Boy Advance...
As opposed to...
the Game Boy Advance is, for all intents
control.
and purposes, a souped-up Super Nintendo.
Right.
So, like, it shouldn't have trouble with this. And eventually, was it Christian Whitehead proved that it doesn't have to struggle with this.
Any of this precision stuff is going to be really fucking hard like
this.
Is this a whole act? It's not just the boss?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
In Sonic 1, the third act was...
an actual...
One, there was a third act. You can just spin dash now.
Well, I'm trying to go up, right?
No, you don't have to. You can just go through that wall.
I don't know that.
But yeah, in Sonic 1, there is a third act, and it is a boss act with
the frame rate changes while you jump.
Yeah, that's... Whoa, not good.
Oh, good. They just caught up. We're good now. Everything's fine.
All the
worry
missing
about
frames
it.
returned. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm speedrunning this garbage.
Oh. I wonder what the speedrunning community looks like for this game.
I'm just pretty sure they just ignore this version, because why the fuck wouldn't you?
Well, it's I mean, it certainly seems like the kind of thing that speedrunners would have some fun with, since, like, Sonic games traditionally don't use real-time clocks. They use, like, sum of segments.
Also, this is making me fucking seasick
Yeah,
with
it's
all
actually-
the changing frame rate.
It does have sort of this wobbliness
so
to it.
jerky.
Yeah, and the background glitching is not great.
Hey, man.
Oof.
Meow, meow, meow,
That's a
meow.
struggle. Okay, you know what? I dig the strings. The strings are okay, but it stumbled a lot over the intro to that track.
It had to load up all the notes.
The strings are
Is he just
only
gonna hang out
good
in the middle?
because
There
they're
we go.
inadvertently making it more menacing, but it's not an intentional choice. It's an accident.
I would have actually really unironically loved if for this game the soundtrack was still it was literally
so mushy.
if it was literally the Sonic 1 soundtrack but done with the Sonic Advanced sound
You
font.
sound like you're wrestling it into position,
I am.
John.
There we go.
What noise is that?
The exploding noise.
It's the sound of Robotnik eating his Honeycrisp as fast as possible.
This is already my
sounds
least
mostly
favorite 2D
legitimate.
Sonic, and now they're... Well, it's not my least favorite because they made a lot of garbage, but of the originals.
This is pretty fucking bad.
I did it, though.
Oh my god. Well, there we go. There's one act down.
The melody of that sounded differently just because of the different... Whatever.
This is also one of the rare opportunities to hear the original Masato Nakamura version of the Sonic theme after 1993.
Okay, there we
Oh,
go.
so somebody with a harmonica is having a grand old time.
Beep, 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 beep.
Nice.
I
Good
like
bounce.
how they've
Whoa.
decided they
Thanks.
really needed to be
Some of
this
it's
level
intentional.
of zoomed in.
Well, that's the thing, right?
I
I
Like
think it would have just taken effort to make it not.
that's the thing. They
my
clearly
God.
went with let's
Fuck you.
use Sonic's original sprites. They had to change the palette, but like otherwise, let's use the same sprites. And then wherever the camera's at is fine, without going, hey, maybe this would have been better if we actually did just come up with original Sonic sprites. That meant that were like proportionally roughly the same size.
It's just you're so zoomed in for
Yeah.
motion at all. And if this wasn't
Well,
like
so-
a zoom go fast game, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But it's Sonic.
But it is, yeah.
So
Sonic's
it is.
sprite was super big even on the Genesis, and that was an intentional choice. They wanted it to be big so so children would relate to him as a character,
Yeah.
not as a
So
like
you didn't have,
Object.
you didn't have
You
to
know?
put a mustache on him, so his nose and mouth didn't blur into each other.
Exactly. So that was an intentional choice, but it definitely does not translate on to this fucking system.
It's. I was gonna say something and I forgot. Damn. Oh yeah. So most TVs. I'm gonna get these numbers wrong, but I believe most TVs were like standard definition was 256 by 224.
It was 640 by 480, I believe.
Well, I mean, okay, that's what standard definition.
Actually is.
That's
oh,
what
you
standard
mean the Genesis
broadcast
pixel?
Yeah, home consoles at the time were 256 by 224. I
They
believe.
were actually slightly different, Super NES and Genesis.
There were
weirdly enough.
mild differences, but like the Game Boy Advance is smaller than that. I want to say this.
Yeah.
I want to say the GBA has 160.
Whoa!
rows.
Oh,
Jump,
dear.
jump, jump!
I, wow! I can't believe that.
I'm
worked.
amazed I didn't kill you.
I was jumping that whole time.
Oh,
but
you know why?
it
The
finally let me.
iframes
Oh,
from getting hit in the lava with the shield probably.
Well, and when
like-
the frame rate is 6, the iframes last a lot longer.
They do. But yeah, the Game Boy Advance I want to say is 240 by 160. So
Oh,
it just
man.
has less to work with all around.
Honestly, I kind of blame Nintendo for that. That's a terrible resolution. They did not plan that well.
Well, that's
Oh,
fuck.
geez,
Well-
good thing you could see those spikes.
the thing is,
dude, that's the whole name of this game.
The games they had up to that point didn't need that many pixels, especially for handheld.
No,
so, like,
even
it
on the
wasn't really,
Mario remakes, they
hello.
did you see that phase in?
Yeah, it just showed up.
Even in the Mario remakes, it was a little wrong because they didn't fit on the screen quite like you'd expect, and it felt a little weird.
Nice. Oh
This-
my god.
Can we turn this down? This is driving me
Oh,
nuts. It's going right through my skull.
Don't you like
a
this
nail.
I will
music,
definitely
John?
be turning it up for each zone, just because we got to
Sure.
comment on it. But
Oh yeah, but like I can still hear it
it's
enough to
bad
comment
though.
on
Yeah,
it.
it's just one dude on a harmonica and then a really laid back but kind of anxious band in the back. Like they're just kind of looking
Oh,
at the
I hadn't
harmonica
even
guy
noticed
like.
them. You're right.
do
They
we
are
commit?
back
Yeah.
there.
If it wasn't clear, I'm piloting for some fucking reason. My triumphant return to the D-pad.
Yeah.
You wanted to play Sonic games, John. I'm fairly sure.
Did
I remember hearing
Not
you
in like
ask for
5
that.
years.
Oh man.
You asked Rick to play.
Ugh.
I wanted to play
games.
Sonic Heroes, and then COVID happened, so I didn't get anything.
That was a bummer. That was a big. To be fair, though, judging by
Nobody
how things went down
Nobody
between me
liked
and
it.
Jeff doing it, you didn't. You missed
Oh,
out on funny
fuck.
moments, but I don't think you really missed out on the
Quality?
memories. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I can always watch it, I guess.
I think you, honestly,
Watch
I
the
think you
D-pad,
should.
LOL.
There are some funny moments there for sure.
Who the fuck
Most of
watches
the-
the D-pad
Most of the humor out of that came from just trying to keep the game like
together?
controllable.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that's what's happening right now too.
I guess so.
Oh
No! Oh no! He's so fast. He's vibrating in place in two directions.
Zip, 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 zip,
Masato
zip, zip,
knocking
zip,
me
zip.
off this platform.
Oh!
So
Masato
sorry.
knocked a mural off the wall.
I
That one in
don't-
the back.
what?
See it? The green one with
Yep.
the green border. Yeah, that
I'm
one.
with you.
Yeah.
Wow, that block is entirely pointless. Oh, what?
Oh, lava.
What?
Lava like a
There's
bitch.
no way to see that.
Okay.
The camera has to do its job.
So
to
I'm
make
just gonna
your
have to
life
do this around
terrible.
every corner now, everyone. This
Yep.
will be a good
Now
game.
it's this part, probably the most frustrating segment
Absolutely,
of this whole zone.
especially with no rings and a bad frame rate. Here we go. I am your
Oh, you got
champion.
rings, though, so that's good.
It's
You-
weird.
you know what? You
'cause
have
the
one
momentum
benefit.
picks up as if the
Yeah.
frame rate was normal.
It holds on to momentum after you leave walls, so
Which
it's not
is
even
so
like
weird.
it's not even like a correct port in that regard.
Oh fuck.
Like right there, normally in Sonic 1, you do not keep the momentum when that happens. You just go straight down.
right. It's definitely weird.
Oh boy.
Strange that they decided to fuck with those things.
Well, I think they
Maybe
built
it's
it
just
from
'cause
the
that's how
ground
the
up.
physics,
is the,
yeah.
Oh, come
They
on.
probably had the original source code, but had to redo it based
the
on that
new-
code.
I
Yeah.
can't imagine that.
compatible.
I think if they had done that, it would be better. I think the issue is they tried to effectively just be like,
oh no!
export to Game Boy, save
Yeah.
as cross
Maybe.
fingers.
I don't know.
Save as cross fingers.
Crossfingers.exe.
Yeah.
Save as hope for best.
That's the real Sonic EXE, and it is cursed.
Can I get a ring, please?
Oh, you got a shield up there.
I guess, but watch, I'm gonna die.
Oh,
if
you
I
can
go
totally
near
get that. There you
Okay.
go. You and your magic momentum bullet.
it. Yeah, it's jerky as fuck. I don't know how else to say it. It's jerky as
Is that-
a fuck.
is that one of the?
Yeah.
Is that one of the?
what?
Is that one of the menu items at Doc Wiley's Wings and Things? Is jerky as fuck?
I don't know.
Jerky as a
I don't
fuck,
really want to think
baby,
about
you're saying,
Wiley fucking. I mean, I'm sure he gets around being an evil dictator. Might not always be.
Whoa.
Good for everybody, but, you know.
Here we go.
Delicately,
Yeah, thankfully, they've
delicately.
never really played with any sort of like, Dr. Wiley's child or anything.
Right.
Then
Because
you
that
have to
implies
think
Dr.
about-
Wiley fucks.
I mean, these guys build robot chicks. They probably,
Oh, no.
you know, have ways to meet their needs. I'll
That leads into some
just say
pretty
Meet their
unfortunate.
needs, quote unquote.
Rule 34 business.
Oh, I would say more in the
Sure.
realm of
that.
like sex slavery kind of deal.
Well,
Because you're building
if
a
the
robot
robots
who
have
has to
free
obey,
will,
right?
then yes.
But they don't.
But if
That's
they
a whole
don't,
thing in the classic
Then
series.
they're just a glorified fleshlight.
Oh.
This is a weird philosophical question.
a
That's
weird
a really
thing.
good point. If you build a sex bot, are
If it
you a
has-
monster? Like,
so I think the problem comes in once it has sentience or sapience. I forget which one's which. I guess sentience.
Sentience in this case, I
Because
think.
sapience is the
out of this fucking
sapience
level.
is sapience
Sapience
is
is-
self-awareness,
I
right?
suppose sapience is still counts in this situation.
Well, yeah, I think sapience is a form of sentience, but I think sentience is more basic, like a. Oh boy.
Are dogs sentient?
I think dogs are sentient, but not. I don't know if they would. I think
Sentient versus sapient.
I don't know if they qualify as sapient.
There's like one is a concept of oneself. And
So sapient means wise in Latin.
Yeah, and that's where
Or
Homo
Greek or
sapiens
whatever,
come
but
from.
Yeah, exactly. So
why do you
that
moving
must
so
be the
slow?
one.
So
Oh,
There it
because Sarah,
goes.
it's the whole thing. The game doesn't work.
yeah,
It's just like struggling so wildly.
We're riding the
I guess that'd be
struggle
the
bus
thing, right?
to-
If an animal looks in the mirror and can recognize that it is itself and not another animal, then that would be a sapient.
Which
So
is
we
a
should probably look
general
this up
rule
rather
they
than just
can't.
guessing.
I don't know, man. Guessing wildly is something that our fans love when we do.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
and
I'm
they
sure.
never correct us at
No,
all.
never once. It's never happened.
They always
There's
correct us
never a
like.
large number of comments in the comment section explaining
I know.
to us
It's-
how wrong we are.
I always laugh when they correct us on stuff because it's like, yeah, you guys have the internet in front of you.
Yeah.
You can look up whatever the fuck you want.
I
We're
mean,
playing a
technically,
game.
So do we.
And
Well, let's find out the
I don't.
definition
I'm
of
playing this
sapiens
game.
next time.